Alright, so we suck. We're 10-19, we're out of the playoff race in the West, and we're a rebuilding team, let's face it. And when you're in our position, you have to begin laying the building blocks, laying down the foundation of hopefully a contender in a few seasons. And if you look at the footage here against the Orlando Magic, it occurs to me that we gotta run. We gotta be a fast break team. I mean, we're the Denver Nuggets. They've been taking advantage of the altitude forever, and we have the perfect point guard to do this with in Emmanuel Mudiay, who's already shown immense talent when it comes to driving to the basket, running the floor, finishing around the rim, and you need the team to cater to that. Look at this clip right here. Mudiay with the steal, sprints down floor, tosses it up to Kenneth Faried. Ironically, Faried may still be the guy traded because he's very one-dimensional, but that right there is what we need. Just hopefully the guys would be able to do more than just that. But you'll see from this clip here, like Mudiay, go into the rim, attacking the basket, that's what we need. So, what about the roster around Mudiay right now? Well, the Gary Harris experiment, his shooting has been, well, it's been kind of down for a little bit here. And look at this alley-oop attempt. Jeesh. Wilson Chandler to Faried. But speaking of Wilson Chandler, is he not the kind of guy that we try to trade at this moment? He's a veteran, he's 28 years old. It just doesn't make sense for him to be on this team where we have to grow into something. So let's talk about a potential Wilson Chandler trade after we dive into this Phoenix Suns footage a bit more. Mudiay passes it off to Faried. Kenneth Faried, unless it's like 3 feet from the basket, I don't like his chances of making it there. A dude who everybody keeps telling me to trade for, that I forgot his name, he kills us there. But then the second unit enters the game, and you know what happens? We go on a hell of a comeback. And I think it might be time not only for a potential Wilson Chandler trade, the idea of inserting someone in the second unit back into the starting lineup. You saw it there. I'm already starting to get warmed up with Will Barton. I've figured out his game. It's mainly just go into the rim, get him up in the air here, go inside. Look at that. That's Emmanuel Mudiay-esque. To have another guy like that, I mean, that's beautiful. Markieff Morris, he's got to be trying to get traded. What the hell kind of shot was that? And then Justin Anderson, another young guy who I'm already liking the potential of, gives it off to Will Barton, and then he drops that 3. So I actually think I want to move Will Barton back into the starting lineup because, I mean, Gary Harris has just not been that good, and the starting lineup needs more score. I mean, look at this. This is our second unit doing things that our starters would love to do. We got to get some of that to start the games. Now you might say, well, why don't you just have Gallinari start? I want to keep that instant scoring off the bench. I want to keep it there. Okay? But, I mean, look, our bench is running. This is the kind of offense we need around Mudiay to start the game. And you know what? If we end up trading Wilson Chandler, of course we're going to need a new small forward. I think the right guy might be Justin Anderson, because he's faster than Chandler. And I guess the one thing that Wilson Chandler would usually have going for him is his shooting, although he misses that one there, and he's been struggling with his shot all season. And speaking of Justin Anderson, he's open this time, and unlike Chandler, it drops. So if Justin Anderson is hitting shots that Chandler won't hit, and he's faster than him, and he's not a bad defender already as a rookie, would it not make sense to start him and allow the starting lineup to just have a little bit more offense, be a little faster? Shout out to Gary Harris, because I was talking crap on him earlier. Would that not be the right move? Bring Will Barton into the starting lineup, have Justin Anderson start as well, and just bring some of that energy next to Mudiay? Well, I mentioned Wilson Chandler. Would the Houston Rockets not be right for him? Well, let's think about this. Their small forward situation. Trevor Ariza, he's been fine. He's averaging 12 points. He's shooting 40% from 3. He's what they ask of him. Corey Brewer, on the other hand, as the backup, he's been bad. Not playing well at all. You think Wilson Chandler wouldn't be ideal for them at the backup 3? Well, then you say, what do the Rockets have? They got KJ McDaniels. You want to talk about athleticism? His is on fleek. His defense is good as well. And weirdly enough, 2K basically had him backwards. They had him as a decent three-point shooter who couldn't defend. So I had to update his attributes a little bit. Now, you ask yourself, what does this mean if we get him? What happens to Gary Harris? I already mentioned it. Gary Harris has been disappointing. I want to bring Will Barton back into the starting lineup because I finally figured out how to use him. Would KJ McDaniels not be the right backup two, potentially the starting two somewhere down the road? Well, to make this happen, Corey Brewer would have to be in the move because the Rockets' salaries are weird. But I don't want Corey Brewer. But the Utah Jazz might want Corey Brewer because the only backup small forward they have is Joe Ingles, who has not played a single game this season. So here's the potential move. The Houston Rockets trade away a guy who has not played in McDaniels and Corey Brewer, who's not playing well, for a genuine veteran in Wilson Chandler, and the Jazz get themselves a backup small forward. Now, of course, we will get a first-round pick out of this because McDaniels for Chandler straight up is eh. So let me know what you think about this move.